Hello, good evening. The North America, especially United States, is a source of the oddity. The all strange stuff comes from United States equal hundreds of times what it comes from the other land. United States is a unique society. North America, we can say, include Canada, United States, is the same you can say same features, same environment, the same tissue of the communities. United States, it was a new land in the 15th century. So when been discovered by the Christopher Columbus, and the long story, they invaded the land and they killed the native people and they occupied the land and successfully they established two big countries, Canada and States. So it started for immigrated people from the England, Anglo-Saxon, and the Latin people, Spanish and French, and they came to this land. And after civil war, it was very long tale about the what happened until they established the country. After that, start waves of immigrants from the whole planet comes to United States and Canada. So I call the nation here an artificial nation because it's one not one tissue like the old generations or all the civilizations like Greek, like Roman, like Arab, like pharaohs. So Ottoman Empire, so now we have the whole world in this North America. You can say the make the summary of the Earth of the globe inside this North America, especially United States. It has a 50 states, and each state it has a big stories inside. Every day we find something rude, something weird comes to make oddity about the something running between the nation or the authority and the people. Today, we will focus in one of the cold case. This is strange. 52 years, and the U.S. Marshal and the federal police try to figure what happened about what we gonna tell until they figure just last week. In 1969, a 20 years old young man was work in the Society National Bank in Cleveland, Ohio, and he was a bank teller. He was a smart boy, and he has friends. He was talking to their friends about movie. He's obsessed with this movie. This movie, the Steve McQueen, make it in 1960s, in the middle of the 1960s. It's called Thomas Crown Affair. This movie talking about a millionaire, a rich man. He feel boring in his life. He wanna make something interesting. The movie. So he hired the people to rob a bank for fun, not to steal the money. He doesn't need money. He will return the money to the bank. That is, I said in brief about this movie. But when the Conrad saw this movie, his brain started working. So he spoke to his friends. He said it's very easy to rob a bank. It's very easy to get out with the money from the bank. The security always has some holes. It's not perfect. So his friends they took his speech not seriously. Someone he admired Steve McQueen in his role in this movie, and suddenly he told his friends one day before what he did. I'm going to steal the money from the bank. I'll show you. They still they don't believe him and they think he just talking about how he obsessed with this movie. In July in 1969, it was Friday. See how smart? He stuffed $215,000 in a paper bag. It's like a food or like any kind of the special private belongs. And he walked away. Nobody paid attention to this bag. It could be has money. This 215,000 at this 1969 equivalent today $1.7 million. It's a huge. This is was the biggest the highest in the history of the Cleveland, even for the country, for the whole United States. And he walked, so he has enough 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, banks closed. It's a weekend, so he has enough time to escape. He walked, and Monday, the employee of the Society Bank in Cleveland, they came, they found the Conrad didn't show up. So someone came to uh, occupy his teller, and he opened his drawers, his safe. He found no money. So it very escalated very fast. Discovered the bank, the money is gone, and at the same time, Conrad is gone. So the U.S. Marshal started to comb the whole Ohio, Cleveland, and they went to many the states around before he can escape, and they spent long time. They couldn't find Conrad, couldn't find the money, and they kept for years until they decided to put the cold case or put the case in the cold and forgotten. That means they gave up until last week. U.S. Marshal and the federal police announced, we figure, we recognize where is the Conrad. He was vanished, and he was living in Boston, Massachusetts, under the fictitious name, and he started to start a new life without his family. And let's see in details how they discovered, how they figured this is the Theodore Conrad, this is the one, and how he lived and how they discovered about this incident. Keep going with us. Last week, the Peter Elliott, the U.S. Marshal Service, the agent or the officer, he announced to the media 6 months after the Conrad died, we identified that he was live in Boston, Massachusetts, under a fake name, and he told the story. Something funny happened. The Peter Elliott, he said, I'm a son of John Elliott, the main investigator who followed the case of the Theodore Conrad since 1969 until 1990. And he retired, and he never gave up. 20 years he was looking all the time for this case. Even they put it in a cold case and forgotten, but he still his own way to figure until he retired and he died. He said, "Now I'm telling my father to lay in a peace because we figure exactly what you one day was looking for." And he told the story about the Conrad. He took a fake name under Thomas Randall, and he lived since 1970 in Boston, and he had a family. He got married and he got a kid, and he was working as a tennis and a golf professional trainer, and he selling the cars. See, he was just enjoying his life, and he died at age of the 71 from the lung cancer. And how we figured about this is the person same, the Conrad, Theodore Conrad, who robbed the bank and vanished, and he became the most fugitive required man in the country history. He said in his the you can say the identified him 6 months within after he died. The people make the obituary in the newspaper about what happened exactly. So the obituary of the person he called Randall, uh, Thomas Randall. Exactly when they compared the information, he born in 1994, he used to live in Ohio, he worked, and he announced bankruptcy for his business in 2014, and they compared the documents, the signature and the picture, okay, of everything, and his family went and they got all clues about him, and they decided He is our father, the Randall, the Conrad, and he is the one. And they found him. He was live in under this name. Nobody know about his history. He told everybody fake stories about his past, and he was live in a peace. Nobody suspect about him until he died. And they put obituary in the newspaper. His story compared with the story of the 1969 20 years old Conrad, they figured that's the person. And until now, we don't know how he spent the money. He died, and no any kind of the charge. But some officers from the U.S. Marshal said we will go for his the family to ask them to pay this money back. But no any clue in the law can force them about this because nobody know about how he got this money or how he steal the money. This is just the past people or the previous people or his family in Cleveland. They know about this story. How weird the people every day show its story in our life. And is this exist? Is this a value of his life to get the money? If I get a 1.7 million and you left your family and your history, your friends, everything, and you start another life, is this you can say achieve the happiness for everyone? Even if he saw the movie the millionaire, the Steve McQueen, was imitate his personality. He was has a money, but he wasn't happy. He was looking for something interesting to wake his feelings, to make something to get him out of the mood. So he didn't get the lesson from the movie. Money never bring happiness, and you steal the money will go one day, and the sin will in your shoulder all the time. We believe in God, so one day he will face his fate in a real judgment. Thank you very much, and we will continue bring you something weird just for amusement and the same time to see how the society works around. Thank you very much. See you next time.